Together with the other members of the Labour Party, Rachel Reeves is a robot who repeats herself all the time in the House of the Commons. In today's video, we will watch and react while also going over all of the latest news from up and down the country, but first hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our rapidly expanding community. As a row broke out, Rupert Lowe came at her and let his frustration out. He said that the public sector, not the private sector, is the problem. He also said that her attack on British business will have serious consequences in this country. Fantastic t-shirts are back in stock at our store. You can get them right now at british.com or by clicking the link in the description. Initially, despite reports that negotiations to reinstall the ancient sculptures in Greece are well advanced and a deal could be imminent, Keir Starmer has ruled out the return of the 2,500-year-old Elgin marbles to Athens ahead of the Greek Prime Minister's visit to Downing Street this morning. Today is Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis' first official visit to the UK since his RAR with former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak over the marbles, also known as the Pathan sculptures. The statues were taken in 1816 by Lord Elgin, the British ambassador to the Ottoman Empire at the time, but Greece insisted that the artifacts now on display at the British Museum were illegally removed from Athens during a period of foreign occupation. Although Britain has long denied claims of their illegal removal, the statues have been a source of political controversy for decades. The diplomatic dispute reached a peak last year when Sunak called off a meeting with Mitsotakis after the Greek Prime Minister pushed for the return of the sculptures. According to reports, Mitsotakis is desperate for the marbles to be reinstated, comparing their break with Greece to severing the Mona Lisa. Downing Street insists that the marbles are still a British Museum issue, but experts say that talks between Museum Chair George Osborne and the Greek Foreign Ministry are moving forward and a deal is close, and it is rumored that a deal could lead to the exchange of the sculptures for other renowned Grecian works of art. We think that this type of long-term partnership would strike the right balance between sharing our greatest objects with audiences worldwide and upholding the integrity of the amazing collection we hold at the museum elsewhere in the House of Commons, according to a British Museum spokesperson who stated that talks with Greece regarding a Pathan partnership are ongoing and constructive. Today Rupert Lowe came at Rachel Reeves and let his frustration out as a row erupted. Lowe stated that the public sector is the problem, not the private sector. He also stated her assault on British business will have serious consequences in this country. Have a watch. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rather depressing listening this morning. I can't help this repetition of 22 billion black hole. We're dealing with very serious matters like people's employment. Ultimately I hear the chants of talking about a central planning agenda. It's the public services that are the problem. They're wasting money. Please can we please seriously consider this? Will she accept if the economy turns down next year? She's made a mess of it, which surely it will. The reason we are raising the 22 billion is because that is the black hole inheritance that this government are now having to address. PL published a line-by-line account of that 22 billion that the previous government left. We are now growing the economy through our national wealth funds, our planning reform, our pensions reform, as well as reforming our public services so that we can deliver for the people we came in here to represent. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In some other news, a piece of unexploded ordnance has been discovered along Portsmouth seafront, prompting immediate evacuations and the establishment of police cordons in the South Sea area. Workers from the South Sea Coastal Scheme made the find this morning, and emergency services acted quickly. Authorities are asking the public to stay away from the area while disposal efforts are underway, and Hampshire police are currently on the scene at Pier Road, where numerous cordons have been placed around Clarence Esplanade. The incident has led to the closure of several notable seaside attractions. Emergency personnel are still on the ground, attempting to maintain public safety in the impacted areas. As part of the safety precautions, a number of important sites have been evacuated, including the D-Day Museum, Clarence Pier, and the Blue Reef Aquarium. Additionally, the cordon zone now includes portions of South Sea Common. According to Hampshire Police, the evacuation orders have not had an impact on any residential properties. Around the Clarence Esplanade, where Sea Defence is located, the cordons are still in place. While the problem is being handled by specialists, the public and tourists are being redirected away from these well-known locations because work was being done at the time of the discovery. We are working with our partners in the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team to dispose of the items safely, and we are asking members of the public to please avoid the area while this is being carried out, said a Hampshire spokesperson with the White Constable.
Thank you. But no, Beth, the way we've constructors is that there are foundational things that a government must do, and they are based on security. So national security is obvious, but border security is equally obvious in my view, and that's why I've said we are committed to bringing down immigration, both legal and illegal. We must stop people crossing in boats across the channel, and we have to get to grips with the volume of regular migration we have in this country. The statistic last week was shocking, a net migration of nearly 1 million, quadrupled in just 4 short years. It is the duty of government to bring that down. It is our duty to do it, and that's why I said it out in my speech that is what we would do, and we will do it. The missions are then the additional things that we want the government to do, the change that we want to bring about, and that's why we set them out in our manifesto. Each of the chapters in our manifesto was an example of how we would deliver that, and the plan for change then takes them forward with major milestones so that the public can see whether we're making the progress that we need to make in the missions. But the foundation is still the foundational stone on which this is built, which of course includes you as an integral part. Border security. Thank you. The quantity and our